And I feel like parents play an important role, especially in topics like this, because most parents usually force their children. Most parents, they will force their children to go to school instead of them to allow the children to chase their dreams, thereby maybe going for their skill or pursuing their talents. Do you think parents should allow their children to pick what they really want to do, or is okay when it's okay, like, or parents are just doing well by forcing them to go to school?
I think that parents should allow their children to choose what they want to do, because at the end of the day, it's their future, right? The parent has lived their life. They've gone down their own path and they're in their own adulthood phase, right? I think it's unfair to choose what your child is going to become, because at the end of the day, if you say, no, I want my child to be a doctor, I want my child to be an engineer, you don't know the capacity of that child, right? If you force your child to go down that path and then the child starts to struggle, right? You now be like, why are you struggling? Your mates are doing this. And you know, Nigerian parents, they like to compare.
Yes.
But is it not so-so-so's child that is studying this one, is doing this one? But like, it's not the same person. Like in the beginning, you didn't let your child choose what they really wanted.
Everybody get their own matter. Laughter go cure our palava.
Practical skill or university degree? For me, I feel like a skill worries beats a university degree, because there are so many billionaires, millionaires out there that don't even go to school, but yet they are doing well in life. But I don't want to just conclude on my own opinion, so I want to hear what my guests have to say. What do you think about the topic?
I feel like this topic is very personal to me, because I have a degree, but I also went further and I got a skill that is not relevant to the degree that I studied in university. And now that's what I use to work, right? So I feel like I don't want to do like an either or, but I feel like a skill, like what you said, there are a lot of people that they don't get like a degree, they don't go to school to get a degree, but like their skill is what is giving them, livelihood now, like giving them income and money and whatever. So I feel like, like in this part of the world, people always say that, you have to go to school, you have to get a degree, you have to get your BSc, you have to get this paper, this and this and this and this and this. But you don't necessarily need that for you to earn a living or for you to make something out of yourself, basically. Do you understand what I mean? Because I went to school, but I'm not using what I like read in school to work now. I'm using like the extra skill that I got, even though I did get a degree for that, but not everybody gets a degree for that skill. Do you understand what I mean? And they're actually doing so well right now. So I don't think a degree is important, but you just have to pick and choose which one works better for you. If a degree is not your thing, you don't have to force yourself because it's the norms, because you feel like, that's what you have to do, that's the standard you have to follow. If your skill is what's going to get you to where you want to be, then why not?
I understand your point. So personally, I feel like even the whole Nigeria school system, not even Nigeria, I said the school system itself. Imagine you are studying business admin. Your lecturer is not a businessman. He doesn't have a business. How are you going to teach something that you don't even know? Imagine, like, so I just feel like it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. You are spending all those years. If you can get a skill, some skills don't even need years. You just have to like go into it for a couple years, probably 1-2 years, and then you are good at it. You can be. Some girls now, we have nail technicians, we have hairdressers, and they are doing well.
Yes.
Meanwhile, some people will go to school, spend 4 years, and you start looking for a job. And the job will not even pay you according to your degrees. Why waste all those time on just a certificate when you can get a skill that you can use anywhere? And one thing about skills is that you don't need any other materials to just do it. The thing is inside you already. You can always perform it anywhere, anytime, any day. Do you think people should focus more on getting a skill, or they should just go for the degree?
I think, like I said before, I think that people need to sit down and understand what works for them, because most times when people come out of like secondary school, the only thing actually they think about is, I want to go to so university, I want to get this degree, that degree. Do you understand? But what if that degree is not exactly what you want, or that's not what your should I say calling is? But people don't realize that until they spend like 4 years, 5 years, 6 years in a university or a tertiary institution studying something that at the end of the day they're not going to end up like you said, what's the point? Especially in a space where the educational system is not something that is so concrete that you know that I'm getting the most out of its triggers. Unless like some people that after they get that degree, they further the education by maybe going abroad, or you've even find out that people that even get certain degrees in Nigeria further their education by getting more skills that are relating to those degrees, skills that should have been taught while they were getting their degrees. Do you understand? And it's just so sad, the kind of system that we are running by. And yeah, like I said, just pick and choose what actually really works for you and go for it.
And I feel like parents play an important role, especially in topics like this, because most parents usually force their children. Most parents, they will force their children to go to school instead of them to allow the children to chase their dreams, thereby maybe going for their skill or pursuing their talents. Do you think parents should allow their children to pick what they really want to do, or is okay? Well, it's okay, like, or parents are just doing well by forcing them to go to school?
I think that parents should allow their children to choose what they want to do, because at the end of the day, it's their future, right? The parent has lived their life. They've gone down their own path and they're in their own adulthood phase, right? I think it's unfair to choose what your child is going to become, because at the end of the day, if you say, no, I want my child to be a doctor, I want my child to be an engineer, you don't know the capacity of that child, right? If you force your child to go down that path and then the child starts to struggle, right? You now be like, why are you struggling? Your mates are doing this. And you know, Nigerian parents, they like to compare. Yes. But is it not so-so-so's child that is studying this one, is doing this one? But like, it's not the same person. Like in the beginning, you didn't let your child choose what they really wanted. Do you understand? What if the person wanted to study arts or wanted to be a painter or something, but you say, no, you must become a lawyer, or the person wants to go into like mass communication or be a voiceover artist or whatever, but you say, no, you must be a this, you must be a that. Do you understand? So I think that parents should actually listen to their children and, you know, give them that room to like choose what they want to do with their futures.
Do you think there should be maybe an organization that will empower them to make the right decision with their future? Maybe help them thereby, like an organization, like I said, or maybe they can practice and see what they are really good at, what they really want to do with their future. From there, they can now decide if they will go to school or if they will just get a skill.
Okay. I like that question that you asked, and I think that's where counseling and empowerment comes in. I remember when I was in secondary school, when I was in SS3, there's something they call career day. But there's something that I noticed about that career day. I don't know if that's the same way they still do it up until now. You find people like doctors, engineers, like those common occupations are the ones that you find coming into like career day to like advise students on prospective occupations or prospective paths that they could go. But you don't find like artists or like maybe chefs or like, do you understand what I'm saying? So the schooling system that you are leaving to go into another system is supposed to guide you, counsel you, or even like an organization, maybe after school, secondary school, instead of directly jumping into it, they can do like a 6 months, maybe like go to a a school where they learn crafts or whatever. Do you understand? And they, okay, this is what I have interest in. This is what I might have interest in, before actually like pursuing that career path. Do you get? I think it can help students, especially at that young age, you know, when they're having growing minds and trying to decide, okay, this is what I want to do in my future, because truly they are young. Some children might make bad decisions. Do you understand? But it's not up to the parents to choose, but it's up to the parents to guide them through the path that they've chosen. Do you understand? So yeah, I think that's
I
how
understand
it should
what
be.
you're saying. I feel like parents and then the whole environment, so they should encourage people who actually want to do something beside education, because
Yes.
as it is now, if you are a young boy or a young girl and you decide that you don't want to go to school, you want to chase a particular skill, people will look at you like you are not serious with your life. Like the environment will judge you, and that is sad, because most people can actually chase what they want to do and then they will make it from that particular skill. But now you not allow them, because environments, they will judge you. They will judge you so bad that you are not serious with your life, this, that, and it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be so.
Yeah.
Also, what skill do you think one should learn in this 2026 to be profitable?
So I think that in this 2026, there's so many skills that you can learn. And also, I don't think people should judge anybody. For example, if nobody learns the skill of like hairdressing, who's going to be making our hairs, right? If nobody learns the skill of barbing or cooking, who's going to be cooking our food for us? Who's going to be barbing our hairs? So that judgment and judging people for the kind of skills that they learn, I don't think it's I don't think it makes any sense, to be honest, because if you are judging people for going into particular skills, then if nobody goes into that skill, who's going to provide those services for us, right? And in this 2020, there's so many skills that people are learning, even down to like content creation, like shooting videos, even just with your phones and editing. I think that's also a great skill that someone can learn. Like you don't need so much things to get before you go into such a career path or a skill path. Maybe later when you start getting small money from it, then okay, you can now buy gadgets like your phone or whatever. Even cooking too, you can learn from somebody, maybe like start interning from somebody. It's also a good skill that in the long run would actually, give you great earnings as well. So yeah.
So we've had your 2 cents. Let's hear what other students have to say.
If you had to choose only one, would you pick a degree or practical skills? And why?
I'll choose practical skills.
Why?
Degree.
And why?
I don't know. Just degree.
The reason why I say that is because we are in this economy where a degree is probably going to give you 9 to 5 that doesn't pay you much. But practical skills can always make it much better and make even more out of it. Sure you get. Whenever a person is a professional at what he learns with his hands, money eventually finds him. Sure you feel me? So I believe a person should get better at his own skills rather than chasing some degree and some annoying lecturers.
What's the most valuable skill you've taught yourself?
Sewing.
Photography and photo editing.
Have you ever lost an opportunity because you lacked a skill?
I don't know whether I should call this a skill, but I'm a model. And there was a time I was called for a booking. But when it got to the point where, they had evaluated every other thing and it felt good. Then they told me to take off my shirt because they needed to see my physique. But at that point in time, my physique was not it. It was the me of now. It would have been a different case. So I don't know whether I should call physique building a skill. Is it a skill?
So we've heard what they have to say. Now we're playing a game called Rapid Fire. This or that's the option you are picking from. So first is degree or skill?
Skill.
So why?
Like I said, I have a degree and I also, went for that and got a skill, and that's what I'm using today. So, skill for me.
All right. You are entitled to your decision. GPA or portfolio?
For me, portfolio.
Why?
Because if you have a very high GPA and you have nothing to show for it, then what's the point? So
But some people will pick GPA. I know some of my classmates then they would die for that.
As long as you have something to back it up, then it's fine.
Okay. Internship or straight A's?
Internship.
Why?
Because if you have straight A's and you don't have experience, then what's the point?
The A's already showed that you know what you're doing.
Yeah, but you know that theoretical knowledge is very different from practical knowledge. So if you have theoretical knowledge and you've not gone out to the field for like practical knowledge, then what's the point of the straight A's that you have?
But some organizations just need that theoretical knowledge. You don't need the practical knowledge.
Yes, but by the time they employ you and they put you on the field for you to practice to defend your straight A's and you fall short, that's when it becomes a problem. There. Yeah.
Classroom or YouTube? Would you like to learn from classroom or YouTube?
Can I say both?
No, you have to pick one.
Okay, if I was to pick one, I would say YouTube.
YouTube?
Yes.
YouTube. Are you sure what you are saying?
Yes. For someone that went to a federal university, there are so many times where you go to the classroom and you don't exactly gain anything from like going to the classroom. Because number one, especially when we're like in 100 level now, there's so many people coming to class. The lecturer is just going to be teaching and it feels like he's a newscaster. He's just going around. You find out that at the end of the class, you don't understand. You've not picked up anything. You have to go back. You have to go back to like your hostel or your dorm room or the library to actually sit down with what they've taught you in class. Do you understand? So half of the time, you don't really gain a lot of things from classroom. So I don't think...
Well, that's not the lecturer's problem now. You're the one who's deciding not to.
Sometimes it's the lecturer... No, sometimes it's the lecturer's problem. Sometimes.
Anyways, you are entitled to whatever decision you choose.
Yeah.
So my other question is certificate or experience?
Experience.
Why?
Experience. Because what is certificate without experience? Because even like, that's why if you notice, even in schools, like you go for like your internship while you are in school, and most times when you want to apply for certain jobs, they will tell you must have 1 year experience, 2 years experience. They're not looking to collect someone that you just came out fresh out of uni, like you don't know what is happening outside, and you think you want to take on a big role, or even if it's a small role, like you have to build up from somewhere and gather those experiences to help you out, like out there, because the real world is so much different from like what you learn in schools. You understand? So yeah, experience for me.
Anyways, it's always your decision. So
Do
I
you
can't
do you
change
think
it.
do you think experience or
Certificate?
yeah?
I mean, certificate is experience itself now. You are going to school and there are different experience you go through in that school. Because schools are not easy. So let's say if you are going in my school, their hospitality management, they usually do practicals. That's experience. That's also
Do they go out on the field like?
yes, and they practice it. They usually cook different dishes, different meals. So it all depends.
I guess it depends on what educational system you've gone through.
So it depends. So my last question for you is books or hard-on learning?
Hand-on learning for me, because I'm more of a visual learner, right? I can be reading a book from like now till tomorrow, but if I don't like see it being practicalized, I will not understand it as much as I'm just like reading the book. It feels kind of like boring for me. That's just my own point of view, Sha. I don't know about others.
But you know, people that read the most are usually the smartest because there's a lot of knowledge in reading.
I beg to differ. I mean, I do agree that there's a lot of knowledge in reading, but what's the point of reading without any practicality? It's just like reading a book like Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? You're reading a book about like how to manage, like how to be successful and all of that. But if you've not had any like life experience for you to actually practicalize that thing that you've read, you have the knowledge about it, but you've not been able to practicalize it in the real world, then what's the point of what you actually read?
I want to counter your question with another question. What if you have all those experiences, but you don't have the knowledge to go with the flow? Like you have the experience, but now you have not read that rich.
Yeah, but it's
How
against
can
what
now
you
know what to
said.
do?
Like you have the knowledge. It's like you need the two. From what you're saying, you need the two.
You need the two.
But it also means that if you have the book knowledge without having, there's something called book smart and street smart.
Yes.
Exactly. So if you're book smart and you're not street smart, then go show you Lagos. So
But certain things are supposed to be book smart. Like if you've read the
you said something.
Laws of powers, you understand that your street smarts, you will bring it to somewhere and you will not even get anywhere.
You said something. I want to take a point from something you said on this segment or the segments before, where you said, what's the point of someone who doesn't have a business teaching business administration? He has that book knowledge, but he doesn't have the practical knowledge, right? Right? Exactly.
Okay.
So I rest my case on that.
Yeah, that's it for the questions.
Thank you very much for having me.
It was nice to have you on.
It was so nice to be on the show. Thank you so much.
So you, my audience, like Gege will say, Adino is the last comment of a fool. So do you believe you need a degree in today's world, or a skill is the key to success? And don't forget, I see you, man, you one and only celebrity boy. Peace.